Operations Dudula had decided I'm born in Mozambique. They decided I'm a Mozambican citizen. They decided on their own. And they put out the fake news. I blew up. Because I'm running for the city of Johannesburg, biggest city in all of Africa. They decided that on their own.
Firstly, we don't know you. We don't talk about you. Stop saying bad things about us on social. Now I am telling you. I'm not sending anyone to tell you. I am telling you, stop it.
What was said bad about you on social media? Specify. That I said. My story is that, look, I was born into a wealthy family. So my family, my dad is born South African, but he is a Mozambican Portuguese Mozambican, right? My mother also, my mother is even worse. It's American, colored, South African, Indian, and British, all that mix. So I come from a very, the ANC here, and this is not me trying to clap at the ANC in any form, because there's a lot of people within the ANC that I do know, but they are guilty for trying to suppress the history of Bophuthatswana, because the two leaders, Lucas Mangope, that we knew at an individual level, was because, EFF barely got seats there, right? MK don't even have seats there. They don't even represent. So yeah, even 3 is a very good number. Except I am an intelligent person. I am smart. I am educated, and so many beautiful things. I'm a good example of what a good child was being raised, and boom, stuff.
So you are telling the audience that you have natural blue eyes?
No, I was born with brown eyes.
And then
one eye just went rogue.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't do a Michael Jackson on your body.
Well, I did, because one eye was not blue. So.
Mashiane Politicallyincorrect. Yes, we are recording. We've got a very interesting South African with us now. Very interesting, because on the phone when I spoke to him, I told him he's got a Tibo Touch accent. And he was surprised why he has a Tibo Touch accent, but you'll hear him when he speaks. Tibo Touch accent. But he brings it much better than Tibo Touch does. Him and I just met now physically for the first time at the memorial service of DJ Waras. May his soul rest in peace. And he knows him better than I do. So I'm just going to, before we even speak about why he's here, I think let's take us there. If it takes longer, please pardon me. We just want to understand. I'm going to take him there so we can have his, because he was not on the program. So we can have his, his final words to the DJ. Mr. Anthony. Please allow me to call you Mr. Anthony. I don't want to flip
just
your name.
Say my name. Just try, because my name isn't. I can accept. I've heard Galston, Buxton, Golfstick, Galston, Buxton, Galistini, Galveston. Yes, I'm fine with everything.
Yes. So you don't have a township nickname?
No, I don't have a township nickname, because I've never grew up in a township.
Yeah.
Then I was born into a wealthy family, so yeah.
Get cheese boy,
Cheese boy, like proper cheese, eh?
Yes. Okay. I don't know where you want to start it. Please feel free. Talk about the man, how you knew him, and then we'll talk about the memorial service itself and how it turned out sour.
Oh yeah, it turned out sour, but like saying, I didn't earn I'm trying to find the word to be on that podium to talk. And the reason is quite simple. My relationship with Waris was pretty new. How me and Waris first met, before I do my last words, was I was running for mayor. So this is sometime in September, October. And then he just said, "Who is this brew?" And this is me, mimicking his accent. Well, he looks like a Forex scammer. I would vote for him over Dada Moreira. So he did all that to just say, at least I'd vote for him over Dada Moreira. Yes. I texted back, I said, "Bruh, I like you so much. I don't think greats like you and I need to be, in the opposite." Right. And he's like, no, I wasn't insulting you, bro. I was just saying that this is just, sarcasm. This is how I am and blah, blah, blah. But I like you too. I went to research you and I see that you're a serious dude. You got a podcast and whatnot. And I'm like, yeah, man, as a matter of fact, I'm your fan too. And we did that back and forth. And then, we got off a phone call. And this beautiful phone call that we had was something I prepared with me and my constituents
I want you to shift back a bit. I want you to back your back with your seat.
My seat.
Okay. Yeah, that's proper. Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
So me and my constituents had like a conversation and we said, we need to elect certain people to work with us, right? And I won't mention all the other people. And DJ Warris was one of the peoples that we spoke about, working with us. And so this opportunity was amazing. Now, I want to add that people that are in my constituents are people from different political parties that are sitting with me. So it's not just, just a bunch of people. Yes, it's like those, we need DJ Warris. Picks up the call with me, tells me, hey, you know what? I've got a couple of security companies and, I go and try and look for buildings. You are a very connected guy here. How about you get me some people? He mentioned Jews, right? So, I know a couple of Jews, to try to get over some buildings. Like, yeah, I can make a few calls. He's like, yo, man, actually, they're not keen because, the climate is a little too hot. And I say to him, look, Warris, because Warris talks, right? Warris, this is over the phone. He's saying a lot. And then I'm like, okay, Warris, okay, I'll do all those calls for you, no problem. But actually, I'd like to invite you to run for me as my co-mayor. Actually, I first start off as a mayor for a certain town and city. I will not say which town and which city. And then I'm like, okay, can you at least be my co-mayor, my deputy? He says he loves Johannesburg and he would rather do that. But he didn't say yes yet, just so that we clear. But he's like, okay, on the conditions that you help me with these buildings. And this is where, making those phone calls go. So I made calls all over the places and to find out who owned some of the buildings. Funny enough, the state owns some of the buildings. Oh, I only found out that time. The state owns some of the buildings that have been hijacked. They're not all privately owned. And I'm like, okay, I have a couple of buildings in check. Can we, take a look at that? He's like, yeah, cool. All right, the phone conversation went on. And we had a couple more conversations, but we didn't pull and follow through from that. But the conversations we had was working together. And the other option outside of being co-mayor was to put him as MMC of safety as well, because I had, a few other names in check. I mean, I know me becoming mayor, there is a good chance. And then, that was a spot.
Listen, I think you should go into politics, my friend. You're very...
I think not. I'm a politician, man.
You don't want to make a difference?
Huh?
You don't want to make a difference?
I do make a difference.
I got a call from a podcaster. And he said, yo, man, I'm running for mayor. And I was like, okay, that's dope, man. I believe in you.
Shout out
right?
to
you. And he was like, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this matter?
Sure.
Me running for mayor. And I was like, well, if you believe it, you can do it, bro. Like independent, not as part of a party. And he's like, I want you to pull up and be my deputy mayor.
Oh, what?
I was like, no, not for me.
Who's this bra?
But I get the vibes. Another bra from another podcast.
Ne? No, man.
But I gave it some thought after we spoke for like an hour. That was obviously just flipping 2 minutes of our conversation.
But yeah, no, shout out to you.
That's what I said. I was like, hey,
for mayor candidacy.
Then I find out that he passes. And I'm like, damn. The man was serious. The man put his literal life online. That is true courage to try and, fix the issues that we have in the city. I was going to help him with his mission. And unfortunately, we are where we are. So I never had the opportunity to work with a great like him. And should it be, I can imagine all the stuff, that we could have done. It's pretty sad because I truly did see a great. I don't say this because he's passing. I say this because I truly believe he was a great. From my initial tweet, I said, greats like you and I should not be arguing. So yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, and you go to the memorial service, we meet up, and what happens just after?
After the memorial service, I'm very disappointed in this, my brother. So as soon as, I stand up, shake hands, kiss babies, hi, my name is Galston Anthony, just introducing myself, then boom, I run into you. Hey, how you doing? Oh, you my host.
Yes.
Yeah. Boom. And then what happens straight after I say hi to you? Some skinny guy, maybe slightly shorter than me. I'm not really sure. With a cap, pulls up on me right there. He's like, "Hi, my name is." I didn't get his name, and he said it twice. You better stop. Can I use a cuss word? Yes, please. This is what he said. You better stop talking shit to me online, or else. I'm like, excuse me, because everybody's nice right now.
Yeah.
Everyone is cool, happy. You better stop talking shit to me, or else. I'm like, excuse me, you're here right now, and I'm still holding his hand at the time. We're here right now. Carry your threat out here, right? At this stage, my assistant is behind me, and then there's eyes on the other side. I'm like, so no one's noticing anything is happening. He tries to pull me, so I'm physically stronger than he is. Pulling closer, like, carry it out. He tries to get his hand off.
Wiggles out?
Yeah, he wiggles out and walks off. I follow him. As we go.
Is he alone?
At this stage, when he's alone. And as I go down, he meets two other ladies at the escalator. I don't know if you saw, there's an escalator that we go down.
Yes.
As we go down, I stand right behind him. I'm like, yo, carry your threat out because I'm making for you. Two. And the two ladies standing next to him, one is a much bigger lady with dreads, and the other lady was wearing white. I didn't get, a description because we're in an escalator and it's going downward. And they talking, yo, this American Mozambican, and I'm like,
So they already knew you by
yes, they did.
Can you please hand over my phone there?
Yeah. So I mean, they're making all these remarks. I'm speaking in English, but I don't want to address the ladies because I don't know what the ladies are here for. But obviously, the guy is there saying, "Yeah, I went to go tell him." I heard them say, "Yeah, I'm chilly," right? And I'm like, "But I'm here. Do it." Now we get to the bottom of the escalator, and once we get to the bottom of the escalator, I see Kulichana. Kulichana and I are friends for a while.
Yeah.
Dichaba, who was the gentleman that cried over, the one who was wearing a yellow shirt at the memorial. He was crying. I hugged them and all. Boom. Later on, I saw Pretty Ugly, and these are all friends of mine for years on years on years on years.
Yeah.
I acted like nothing happened. Boom. They went about. And I asked myself, what was the purpose of that threat? What you thinking you're going to catch me out one day? So I didn't appreciate that. And I think I should say this on camera, is that Operations Dudula had decided, I'm born in Mozambique. They decided I'm a Mozambican citizen. They decided on their own. And they put out the fake news. I blew up. Because I'm running for the city of Johannesburg, biggest city in all of Africa. They decided that on their own. And so they believe that they're going to bring this low-life threats to me. Little did they know they actually were being watched at that moment. But I don't want to have like that kind of threat to them. The threat I say to them is like, you have two choices. A, you could come to me, apologize for that behavior at a memorial service. At a memorial service, or act out your thing. Because you apologize, I can find a show. Oh, absolutely.
Operation Dudula because
He announced, says, my name is so-and-so from Operations Dudula. Don't talk shit about us anymore or else. Those are the words that he said.
Do you think he was in the company of the president? Because just before I bump into you, I was with the president.
I'm not sure if she herself was a president, but I know it's quite a big chubby lady.
Yeah.
She was wearing black that day, and she has some sort of dread. Was she having dread-like hair? I didn't pay attention.
I didn't really pay attention. It was dread-like.
Dread-like hair? Yeah.
All natural.
Yeah, she was wearing black for sure. Okay. Yeah, all black. Now, I know it's a funeral. Everybody's wearing all black.
Yeah.
But the gentleman that came and did the threat was not wearing all black. And again, because I'm speaking to so many people, it's hard to pay attention, but definitely it was with two other women.
Let me see if it's possible, if she would know. I'm just going to ambush her now.
Okay.
Her call is not going through.
Call is not going through.
Let me see. Let me try her in a few. Let's try in a few.
Oh, we can try whenever she's ready.
Yeah. So, but do you remember having beef online with? Because I know you are a king of clapbacks. With people without you knowing. But do you remember any person in particular? Or
no? So I don't. Because okay. So here's my situation. To answer yours directly, then go into the extended situation. So, everybody's just having nasty comments since this thing blew up. I'm like, thank God, propaganda is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Now everybody knows I'm running for mayor. Thank goodness.
Yes.
I don't have to pay people for marketing. I actually literally stopped some people. Okay, some campaigns are going to stop. Just hold that money. Let's do some other things some other time. I was so happy. But then the propaganda got out of hand. I expected people to be ugly online because this is what people do. I mean, they've got nothing better to do than to be ugly. Because people that have like a little bit more sense don't go about that life. Like, I don't picture you being ugly online every day. You know, it's not something within character. I barely know you, met you today, so I could tell. And I expected that. But Operations Dudula, I did a video to say that Operations Dudula decided that I was born in Mozambique. Yesterday I was born in America, and then boom, just moved on with that whole thing. And I'm like, you know what? I'll take the clout and run with it, and when people get ugly, get back to it. So there was no particular beef. But now I'm making it a beef. It's that we have two choices. And I actually have to say this part.
Yeah.
We had the apologize, shake hands. When I become mayor, I work with y'all because I once admired these people. I actually thought at some point, especially when that gentleman was there.
Just hold on. Comrades, morning again. Are you okay?
Yeah, I know. I'm fine.
Okay, but just the quick heads up. I'm recording a podcast right now. I'm with a gentleman who will introduce himself. You know, when we just bumped into each other just a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
You know, Galston Anthony.
Yes.
He said he was antagonized by part of people who are coming from Dudula. Are they part of your security detail?
Okay, I think I heard that conversation, but it was not. But I think the guy was asking, why is he talking bad about us on social media platform?
Oh, they were not fighting. It was just a conversation.
No. He asked, Buchi, why is he talking bad? Or they even shook hands.
Oh,
They even shook hands.
Anthony, are you willing to talk to Anthony right now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Anthony, there she is. She's the president of Operation Dudula, Zandile Davula.
Hi, Zandile. Galston Anthony here. Ma'am, could you tell me, this gentleman that came to me, at some point he went to an escalator, went down. There were two women standing there. Were you one of those women?
Again? What about the women?
When I followed him to the escalator and he went down, he met up with two women, telling them in Sizulu that I told him what I needed to tell him. Were you one of those ladies?
Yes.
Were you the lady in black and responding in a very, say, disparaging tone, saying, this American Mozambican?
Oh, yes, right. I was very afraid.
Yes, but in black. Am I correct? You were literally behind me. As in one step, literally in front of me. Said the step right in front of me at the escalator. Was that you?
Okay, I don't know, Anthony, what's this about? But maybe if we can get to the bottom of this, how do I help you?
That is the bottom of it, because there was a lady there saying disparaging things. Now, your gentleman came to me, walked up to me and said the following words, and I might be paraphrasing one way or the other without leaving out information. He said to me, "Hi, my name is," and he said his name. "I'm from Operations Dudula, and stop talking shit about me online." And then a couple of seconds later, I'm like, what was that? Because I was rather perplexed. What's happening? He said the same thing. "Don't talk shit with us online or else." I'm like, excuse me, sir. Carry out your threat right in front of me right here, right now. And that's when he let go of my hand and came down to you as I followed him to the escalator. So that's the matter at hand. Seems like a dog fight. Sending apologies. They're part of the politics. So it it is that you send people my way to pull a threat at me. And the question is, why did you do that? What was your intentions?
Hey, Anthony, are you saying that I'm sending people to threaten you? Is that what you're telling me?
What I'm saying is that it is people from your organization came and threatened me, and I followed them to you.
Are you saying that I'm sending people to threaten you? Is this what you're telling me?
I am answering your question. I am saying that
Not
people.
answering my question. You just said to me, why am I doing it? Let me tell you something.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Tell you something, Anthony. I'm going to tell you one thing. I don't appreciate what you just told me now. And don't ever think of talking to me again. If there's the attitude that you're bringing, telling me that I'm sending people to threaten your life, don't ever. You must go back to your country. That's one thing I'm going to tell you now.
And there's one thing I'm going to tell you now, that this is my country. This is a country that I built. Okay, let's so that through. So you can consider this not a talk again.
All right, Chaps, Mr. Anthony. Platform. Firstly, we don't know you. We don't talk about you. Stop saying bad things about us on social. Now, I am telling you. I'm not sending anyone to tell you. I am telling you, stop it.
What was said bad about you on social media? Specify. That I said. Then when you want to,
I have to go.
yeah, when you want. So there was
To
nothing.
let go, wait and to let the lady speak. Comrade, if you want to let go of the call, please just tell me. I don't want you to feel ambushed because I know already I ambushed you. Apologies for that. Do you want to say anything in closing in defense of Operation Dudula? Because they've issued out a statement around this matter, indicating and purporting that one of Dudula, in fact, has attacked them. Do you want to say anything regarding that?
You know what? So maybe what I can say is that we don't go around, threatening people, sending threats. I mean, this very same guy shook hands with the gentleman that I was with. And now he's coming here changing stories and all that. We don't appreciate that. So it wasn't a confrontation. This organization that is there to protect South Africans. We don't go around making threats. If that's how he feels, if he has all the proof of that, he's more than welcome to go and, lay charges against whoever that spoke to him.
Okay, so it wasn't a confrontation. It's contrary from what he's telling me.
No.
All right. Thank you very much, Comrade President, and apologies.
Please do tell me statement,
Yeah, I will.
Mr. Mashiane,
I will do that. I will do that. Yeah.
and also respond accordingly.
Thank you for being kind and taking a call and unprepared. And thank you very much, Comrade President. Thank you, Ekada. Sharp. Yeah, as you can hear, it's a
Persevere thinks the beautiful thing about that's a dog pound.
yes.
The beautiful thing about politics, and I'm being ironic when I say it, is that you can deny. I made a counter threat.
Yeah.
I said, carry out your threat now. As a matter of fact, information I left out, she wasn't there. We got to her. So she cannot say.
I know she wasn't okay. When I spoke to her, like before I just bumped into, I spoke to her and I say, Comrade, are you okay? She didn't seem to be okay. So, but I understood because we, like I said,
we had a funeral.
Yes, we spoke. We spoke even before we bumped into each other today. But I understand, and for what it is, we'll see your statement. We'll compare it with their statement. If they deny all of this,
Of course they're going to deny. It's in their best interest to deny. I mean, this is what happened. What I wanted to say was that
but you were alone. Just so before I cut you, you were not alone. No, with your associate. Who's in the
there were multiple people there.
Yes.
They're being watched. They don't know that.
Who's in the studio? Do you want us to check? Do you want to have a view on this? Even if you speak from there. Did you see the confrontation?
Yep.
Was it almost physical as it's purported here?
Yes, it was almost physical. She was not there. So she cannot say that they were shaking hands and it was friendly in any way. I'd heard what was going on there.
Yeah.
And I was literally in close proximity and I had to take a step back because I felt like it was about to be physical.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Don't send somebody a bit bigger in size, man. Man, come on, man.
don't do that, man. We just come from a
There was politically correct.
we just come from Wara's memorial.
No, let's be isolating it from Warren's assertion.
You know, Operation Dudula's Secretary General was shot dead 2 weeks ago.
I have no idea.
He was shot dead 2 weeks ago.
May he rest in peace.
Yes. So these things might start like it's
And this is
someone
exactly
someone might pick it up and misses through this as a serious feud.
and then they act on it.
It's
Okay,
there.
so this is
East
beautiful.
Coast, West Coast kind of vibes. And
Look,
some
my lineages come from war, so we understand war. Then South Africa does not understand war, right? So when we go in hard, right? That's number one. Number two, the political parties that we associated around here have been to these countries, so exiles, right? And so they've got that experience, and these people are around me all the goddamn time. Now, Operations Dudula are an organizations that I admired because what happens is that they try and get illegal foreigners or foreigners out, the system that is breaking it. I'm like, I'm for it. Long before I thought about running for mayor. And I'm like, that's great. But then they started becoming biased. I mean, word has it that they were receiving money some places and whatnot. I do not know that.
what's wrong with it?
Look, I don't know if it's true. There's no verified information.
But there's
nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with they need to be funded to be able to do their thing. But sometimes they get biased, right? Now I'm saying this without verification, right? I'll tell you places where I can verify that information. Then I started seeing things getting out of hand. So I'm like, come on, guys. But anyway, do your thing, right? They're not in my proximity. You don't really bother me. Going on with my life. Yes. Then out of nowhere, they decided to bring propaganda and spread hate. Now I got to deal with that hate. Now I would sue them, but they don't have money, right? They wouldn't have money that I
But you just said they receive money.
they're receiving money and they're spending it on God knows what, but they don't have enough money to pay whatever it is. Now, this is not me trying to hit shade at them. This is like, if you're going to sue something, you're going to get something out of it. You got to get something out of it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. For what? What's going to happen? Now, this is why I said that one, if they come to me, they apologize, we call it a day, we shake hands, we can actually work together because we're on the same side.
Oh.
We actually on the same side. But they decide they want to start beef with me. I'm a kind of guy that says, and I heard 50 Cent saying this, I'm a 50 Cent kind of guy. It's like, I don't want any problems, but if you want problems, no problem.
Okay, now let's start the podcast. Mashiane, Politically Incorrect. I've got a gentleman who wants to run for the mayorship of the city of Johannesburg, the great Josie Mabone. And he thinks he's going to do it competing with Helen Zille and many other political heavyweights because it is a seriously contested space. I don't know what the budget of the city of Johannesburg is. I didn't want to Google it. I want him to tell me. I don't know how big a budget that it entails, but I know it's huge. It's huge. He's going to have to work with people like Panyaza de Sufi. He will have to do like real hardcore politics with my comrade ANC. And this is very, very scary. Just look at him. Do you think he will cut it? Just look at him. Do you think he'll cut it? Because I'm saying he's going to work with hardcore politicians, people who've been politicians since they were in the youth league, COSA's days and stuff. And he's going to have to rechannel funds going to a building. He will have to sign that thing. But let's go. Let's take it where he was born.
I wanted to answer all those questions directly, but hey, run your podcast.
Who's that dude in New York who upset people?
Zohran.
With his background, he upset people, billionaires.
Mhm.
Tell us your story. I just want to see if your story matches up with it.
Well, I don't know his story. You're very
Tell me yours. I'll see if it matches up with
my story is that, look, I was born into a wealthy family. So my family, my dad is born South African, but he's a Mozambican Portuguese Mozambican, right? My mother is even worse. It's American, colored, South African, Indian, and British, all that mix. So I come from a very diverse family, right?
You remind me of Tiger Woods.
I'm a Tiger Woods to some degree because my son is a Tiger Woods, by the way, because he's half Chinese. So I've got, I'm all over the place. So I got Chinese sons, go all over the world making babies, right? Just so I can have those hybrids. And I was born into that place where I was in training from day one. Right? Yeah, so I didn't get the silver spoon that I lived in the mansions. I lived in all those type of stuff, but Those mansions where you will be trained. So if you guys don't know, if you know the monarchs, especially in the European monarchs, says although they've been treated as royalty, these people go to war. These people are the kind of schooling they've done is on a very different level. They're learning mathematics in ways that I did all that training, right? We don't have this simple background training. Although I went to normal schools, after home curriculums were intense. Now, why is that the case? Is because my family, not just down to my father alone, they wanted to breed a superhuman being, right? Along the way, or just to say where this happened, this is in Bophuthatswana. So let's just put it this way. I was born in Bophuthatswana. Bophuthatswana became South Africa later. It's the same place where Herman Mashaba was born. Herman Mashaba was born in Bophuthatswana, not South Africa, but he was in Hammanskraal. I was in a different portion called Mafeking. And then we were raised in that way, went into international schools, you know, as some people know it as ISA today, International School of South Africa, went to different places, different provinces, and went to school there, even ran into Aaron's Roots, Afro-Forum guy, we went to school together. There's quite a few people like Pebetsi Nolo and 2010 Miss South Africa Bokan. I forgot her last name. Went to school with those people in different places. So people in different parts of the country.
Now married to the soccer legend.
Yeah, he's Shabalala. That's him.
He has scored that brilliant goal against Mexico in 2010 World Cup.
Right. Yes. So I went to school with them. So everybody at some point in their life, they're like, hey, man, I knew this guy when he was 5. It's like, yeah, I knew this guy was 30. But because we moved so much, you know, no one has ever seen me at a consistent 2 years of their life. They just never. Whoever claims that lies. Okay. I was trained through and through to learn lots of things. Went to different countries, post-matric, you know, to learn some more. But I was an entrepreneur at heart. I just wanted to be an entrepreneur. So I started businesses, failed at businesses, started more businesses, more and more and more. And decided, hey, man, I need to get out of this thing that my father and my family want me to get into. And I just didn't want that anymore. I wanted to do my thing. So what was that? Entrepreneurship. Okay, right? Which was in the media industry. I wanted to rap. So they ousted me. They're like, oh, so you think you want to do what we don't tell you? Get out. So I walked the streets on my own, you know, when a dog's been chased out of the house, he's got his tail on it. And I built from that. Made my own money. My dad was like, where did you steal that from? And I came home with my first car, BMW 240,000. Where did you steal that from? I'm like, I make this money honestly. Eventually started seeing that, hey, this boy is actually working. It took 10 years to 12 years for my dad's approval and for my family's approval. And this is when I started growing. What people don't understand is that I'm 40 years of age. I'm not, 28 or 29 or 32, whatever they think. So I did all my time in the music industry. So all these names that I mentioned, your coolies, I knew them years on years because I worked with them from day one and decided, you know what, this is what I'm going to do.
Notapa Louis calls himself a music executive. Are you that?
Something of that sort, but more and more of a media executive. Okay, so what he did is that he managed artists one-to-one, right? And he worked with them and developed them and advised them accordingly because that's what music managers were. And then he turned into a music exec over, his catalog, so to put it. So I didn't have that one-to-one management. I was more of an agent side. So I would manage the person, but then I would make money as a business. I didn't have to wait for, a portion of their money. I made money as a business. So that's the main differences. So he's got some of the biggest artists in the country. I've got some of the biggest artists in Africa. So the levels are different.
Shout out to Nota. Today I got caught at those escalators.
Yeah.
With the big security guys blocking my way.
And he was the one that...
And he came out of nowhere. Yeah. The authority just came and said, let him go in. He's politically incorrect. And he just pushes us. He just pushed everyone away.
Side note, it was Nota. He was the one that spoke sense into me. Yeah. I was like, yo, somebody's have to go missing now.
Yeah.
He's like, please do not stoop to that level. What's going to happen is that if you do anything of any kind, you're going to be tainted. Your whole mayorship is going to fall apart. I said, okay.
You were saying don't wrestle in the mud.
I says, don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're right.
So you got karate background or military background?
Oh, no, I don't have to do things myself. I'm asking. I don't have to. Well, let's just say I am trained for physical combat. So physical combat any day, anytime.
So is Vusitemba Kwayo, Kyokushinkai?
Yeah, well, I never did that discipline. There's other disciplines that I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I cannot reveal them here, but people know. There are people online that know that I'm actually.
Yeah, he says he trained with he got his inspiration from Mas Oyama, the Japanese grandmaster.
Yeah, well, Japanese comeback is all right.
It's all right. It's all right. Mas Oyama is great. I think one of the real
Pretty dope.
the urban legend of Mas Oyama is hitting a bull, one fist, and falling. Do you think that's true?
It is possible, but the kind of training it takes you from childhood training over and over and over at the.
Bruce Lee, I mean, is a marvel of a human being. Small or not small, maybe
No, he's smaller than I was.
yes, and
One of
not muscular but lean.
Yeah.
Sorry, lean, but he packs so much power in his. Do you think physics like that? You said they groomed him from a child. Yeah. Do you think physics like that are actually built-in gyms, or it's just a freak of nature that just comes up?
They are freakish natures, but the issue is that you need to understand that your body's actually stronger than you actually think it is. Right? A lot of the times your strength is limited by your mind. Now, this sounds like something that your strength is only limited by your mind. No, it's a real thing. Yeah, your physical strength can be unlocked day to day. There's a guy called Vladimir. He goes on the internet and he picks up weights bigger than people his size, right? So a pound for pound ratio, you know the guy, right? Yes. So for pound ratio, a human being can actually pick up 2.5 he's weight. So if you're 70 kilograms, you can actually pick nearly 200 kilograms. You just haven't unlocked that portion of you.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can go way above my weight because it was something that was taught to me at a very, very early stage. So
Okay. So I interjected. You were saying something like about your baby mama.
oh yeah, you were talking about Bruce Lee. It's like, yeah, one of my baby mama comes where Bruce Lee's from. So same country. So
How many baby mamas do you have?
two that I know of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, what else? There are other people who are.
They might be out there. You know what? I need them to come out the woodworks. Be like, here's your baby.
One of the most difficult things in South Africa is, but we don't do it like the American style do it. Now they'll be poking holes with but they will leave you now until, we are on the final straight. Then start poking holes into your campaign. What are the things that you think South Africans, let's just say Johannesburgers, because those are the ones who would be voting for you. Johannesburgers might be surprised to know about you, that you think, let me clean it. You know the last battle of.
I like that question.
The last battle of Eminem and at 8 Mile.
Oh,
I
see where you go.
he did it himself, and those other guys couldn't.
And I love it how you ask that question.
Yeah.
Just so that you can, see if I can pull out.
Yeah.
Look, at the top of my head, I do not know. Right? In general, I try to keep my life clean. I don't have issues with fraud. I don't have issues with, but there were quite a few times that people came out with some encounters of, different sorts. But the issue is that they all, sorted, cleaned out. So at this stage, I got nothing. But people don't like my roughness of my tongue. So I know that in the future, they'll be like, yo, you said this on Twitter. Yeah. Right? What are you saying now? I'm like, you don't understand is that I prepared myself for this. Now, people don't know that this as an individual, not only as a family background, is that we own a lot of things that can push propaganda and whatnot. So with this propaganda that came up, I came from Mozambique, was beautiful for me. It was, so I ran with it. I never accepted. I didn't deny because it needed me to become hot. So even to this day, right, I think for 3 days to 4 days straight, I was #1 trending in the entire South Africa. What is it? The 19th of December, artists, a trend. Even Shebe shit. Is that,
Yes.
is that how we pronounce it? Shebe shit.
Yes.
He's not trending more than I am. They know him. They don't know me.
Must be careful about my banner. When it comes out, it's not going to be it.
Is that his last name? Mabena.
Nah, he goes with many monikers.
Really?
I mean, even Mabena is his name.
So I don't really know much about him, right? So he's not even trending as much as I am, right? And he's an actual celebrity,
Yeah.
right? So it goes to show that propaganda was amazing, and we sat with like, bring it. Bring it. We will mold the story later, right? We will try and work with it later. So what would happen is that when we get to September, October, November, it's like, he's not from South Africa. Then other people's like, please, man, we know that he is. We went to school with this guy. We saw this guy when he was 2. We saw this guy through and through. So you coming up with some stuff. So these are the stuff that might come up. So right now they're shaping all the issues. Why does he have blue eyes? Why does he have an accent? Why does it? So we just answered that. Why do you realize? Why do I have blue eyes? Yes. Well, I was born with brown eyes. Right? I was born with brown eyes, basically almost like everybody's kind of brown eyes. And then along the way, my one eye went rogue and it turned blue. Now, this is not unknown in my family, right? We do have like direct family that are full black. They're not mixed.
Yeah.
That the eyes are blue. Now, on my side, we never expected it because usually when you're born with blue eyes, they can go brown, but it's not known for brown to turn blue. So what happened is that I just made sure that I make the other eye look like the one eye and just don't look like a husky or a freak of nature. It's that simple.
Huskies look beautiful with one blue, right?
Sure, but people are gonna look at me crazy already.
Yeah.
Right now, they look at me with marvel as opposed to crazy. Imagine just having one eye blue and one eye brown.
So you boost about having lots of mixed genes in you, and some of the things people talk about melanin people is the ability to, to present with various features out of their racial identities, like blue eyes and stuff. So you are telling the audience that you have natural blue eyes,
No, I was born with brown eyes.
and then
Then one eye just went rogue.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You didn't do a Michael Jackson on your body.
Well, I did because one eye was not blue, so something had to happen.
So the Michael Jackson story is because of vitiligo, and then he just said, okay, now that we have this, let's just do the whole thing. So I'm saying with you,
There you go.
it was one just started, and then
It started going.
let me
crazy.
just play along with nature.
Yeah, and then let me play along with nature, and then maybe this could be my look. And look at me.
Where we had, guys, his blue eyes are natural. That's what you say. Nature gave you blue eyes. Listen, born with brown eyes.
I was born with brown eyes, okay? And then I decided so that both of them look alike. One of them had to go permanently blue.
But in fact, agree, one eye decided to play for the Blue Bulls, right? And then he thought, okay, numbers, why do we have Kaizer Chiefs and Blue Bulls? There's all rugby. So then you make the other. But
You can put it that way. Yeah.
okay, then let's talk about the accent.
The accent. So I was born in Mafeking, Bophuthatswana, right?
Okay.
So some people have to understand that Bophuthatswana, even though it is now part of South Africa and it has Tswana people, it was a very completely different country to South Africa. South Africa had apartheid. Bophuthatswana didn't, right? So black people, white people, American people, we had all those people there, right? We were fine. We didn't even know people was fighting the next country. We were just young, living life, right? Yeah. So what would happen is that we had privileges people in South Africa didn't. We could go to the United States today, stay there a year or two,
Yes.
whatever the case may be. So we did a lot of those back and forths as a child,
Yes.
right? So that's probably how I picked it up. We weren't conscious about it. I didn't sit there as like, yo, I have to sound as American as possible. Eh? It didn't. It just happened, you know?
Yes. So I'm thinking you're probably the only one from Mafeking who speaks like you do.
Well, maybe known people, but people that were born in the 80s will tell you now. They say that this area is like Rivera Park. That's the area that I lived in. That was the suburbs. There was a lot of people of my type. I was not a freak of nature. I'm a freak of nature now. A lot of those people decided to leave the country. My family, they were like, yo, we staying here, we building here. I mean,
So here's your homeboy, Vapa.
yeah, the comedian, right?
Yes.
I've not met this guy. I only know about it recently.
Well, he says his passion.
His version.
Yeah,
That could be true. And he's from Africa.
he tells it. So I attended his comedy night. It was one of the best. But I have to tell you, with him and I'm sitting and I'm thinking, I've attended a comedy show in this very first venue, it was Fire and Ice. And with him he had so much sponsorship. And I'm like, Vafa is not even mainstream comedy. But
Yeah.
like, he's got so much sponsorship. But I'm just gonna write it down. I'm not gonna say racism. Like, I'm just gonna write it down. But he's got sponsorship all over. Can you imagine we were fed finger lunch from start to finish
Really?
in South Africa? Can you imagine that? Finger lunch, like you were full. And before I went there, I ate, and I was like, why didn't I eat?
Right.
It was Mrs. Balls was taking care of that. And I was like, why am I even complaining? Because this is what comedians in South Africa wanted, and the production there was on.
I've never been to his
Yeah,
production.
but you should talk to him.
Yeah.
Some Kayawa or maybe.
So yeah, I think he's smarter than I don't know if he was smarter because we left in the 90s, you know, because what happened is that, and this I'd like to use your platform as an opportunity to tell history because the ANC here, and this is not me trying to clap at the ANC in any form because there's a lot of people within the ANC that I do know, but they are guilty for trying to suppress the history of Bophuthatswana because the two leaders, you know, Lucas Mangope that we knew at an individual level, you know, was in cahoots with apartheid. But this is how, you know, Bophuthatswana was born. But everybody there was happy. It functioned fine. It was a state. Yes. Everybody was happy. Rich people and poor people hung out like it was none. There was no, we were in the rich neighborhood and the people in the township neighborhoods, and there was no like a difference between the two people. You couldn't feel the social differences, right? And then once that the coup happened in Mafeking, I mean, it was wild. People were literally looting and stealing, and everything just went wild. And Mafeking just went, it just fell. At that point, that's when we left. Yeah, that's when we left the country. Came back 2 years later, try to figure out our way. You know, from you know, that point on out, we went to Limpopo actually. So the history of Bophuthatswana was like erased, and most people, especially those born in the 90s, don't even know Bophuthatswana existed. It was a completely different state to what South Africa was.
A lot of Bophuthatswanans, I'm probably coming up with this one, but Khuzikgolo Mangope called them Batswana. A lot of Batswana still regard him as a leader who was far ahead of Mapantiti. Mapantiti.
Yes, I know. That was his word. So obviously I know that. Yeah.
So he was far ahead of Mapantiti, and they attribute a lot of their mishaps to Amapantiti, Amasela, that's called the ANC, that they actually sabotaged his programs and his infrastructures to make him look bad. Yeah, you would talk about a lot of various. Remember, Tswana started in Amanskala all the way to Mahikeng. So all of that they attributed to ANC's deliberate failure. And look, they just sabotaged him so people would forget about his greatness. Do you conform to that? Are you a proponent of that ideology that suggests that he was singled out? He was a great man. He was singled out as a bad guy, just so history remembers him as a apartheid collaborator,
or not remember him at all. Yeah. So most people don't even know who Mangope was. So this year is Mangope was some of the greatest leaders probably of all time in the Southern African times, right? You put Mandela up there. You could put Lucas Mangope not too far from that. You could put Thabo Mbeki in those categories. The rest, I mean, is very arguable, so to put it. So
I'm deliberately going to stop you there. I want to put him in your top 5 of greatest Africans if we're ever to have.
I've never actually thought of that, but greatest Africans? No, let me just see if I'm saying top 5 of all time, or of our recent
top Africans.
Of all time, maybe not, but top 10, yes. Top 10. But in the Southern Africa, definitely top 5 without a doubt. So they definitely did try to clip his wings to make sure that he looks like a terrible person. But Bophuthatswana was a very functioning state. Yes, my family did benefit from it so much because we built a lot of Bophuthatswana. People don't know that. A lot of the hospitals was built by, you know, my father and Bophuthatswana, the entire electrical systems. Some schools in Bophuthatswana, right until you name them, Dinokana, Zirist, you name all these places, even Tabanchi included. Those, you know, my father did help build those hospitals, electrical systems. So they built all these systems. They actually stand to date. Even though they're so dilapidated, they stand to date. Now, if you had to put that versus the South Africa today, all the standing hospitals are apartheid hospitals. They're not recent hospitals, except private hospitals that we have now. All the apartheid hospitals. So if we actually look at the greatness between, say, a Mangope and an ANC government, even to date, if we had to parallel it, sorry, man, Mangope is out there, and it's not like Mangope's family give me anything. I'm already good. You know, I'm already good. I'm detached from them so many years. It's not actually me that's detached from them. It's our family. We detached from them so many years. But unfortunately, we've been done dirty. Am I mad at it? No, it is what it is. I mean, states take over states all the time.
Yeah. Mamdani wasn't supported. Do you think you are supported?
People love me, man. What's this notion? Look, the internet, like I said earlier, they lives a group of people. that don't have anything better to do with their life. When I become mayor and give those people jobs, they're not going to be saying all those things, right? Not because I gave them jobs, but because they got something better to do. So are people supportive of me? My goodness, you'd be very surprised. Unfortunately, they're not as noisy online. For example, I'm pretty sure you think I'm a decent human being. Have you said anything online?
Nah,
Why not?
because I don't want people to think I'm on your campaign trail.
There you go.
But
So you've
you-
answered the question.
But if you were to pay me,
You know what? Just so you can do it, I'll make sure I check the sign. No, none of that. But my point is this because I don't want people. There you go. That's the answer. Most people don't want to say anything online because they're afraid of other people, but they support me. I have heavy support. So much so that currently in my constituents, multiple parties, there's not a single, no, there is a party that is not within my circle right now. That's probably the smaller parties, are not in my system right now. All of them. And I'm letting you guys know now, the people that are trying to figure out is that y'all guys built me.
as I continue to compare with Mamdani, do you go independent route or you go
Not
full-
independent.
hardcore political party?
Hardcore political party.
Do you have a name?
I do.
Are you doing the Floyd Shivambu kind of thing? You are consulting, and then when the people tells you that
Floyd
and he becomes that president, even if people did not say we want you as a president, what's your stance? What's your
So let's just make it clear here because, you know, a lot of the times I'm not a politician. I just want you to understand that. And I do not want to be a politician. And then people in the comments saying, Bernie, why are you being mayor? That means you're a politician. It's like, yeah, I'm a businessman at heart, entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Right? I'm in this position because of frustration. I'm frustrated that all our businesses are not doing well. My businesses, my friends' businesses, millionaires' businesses, small business, they are not doing well. The country's falling apart. So somebody's got to step up. Guess who was trained for this? This guy, right? So a few of us. So you asked, am I the person that comes in and go to people, consult? I'm like, not really. I said, I'm going to run in here. Who's jumping in with me? I need all advice that needs to be done. Okay, I will leave my political party. I was partly lobbied, by the way. I'll leave my political party and I'll stay in the background until I'm ready to show my face to say, hey, I was running behind him. So I do have an A team. It should be no surprise that in a couple of months, whoa, how did Galston get him in?
yeah?
There should be no surprise.
I know you are quoted by a lot of people. You tell us if you're willing to disclose their names. But I remember one person who walked your route is Mashaba, a fellow Bophuthatswana. He, you know what he did? Well, Helen recruited him out of business into mainstream politics. I have to tell you, he did well in Johannesburg. And I liked him. And, well, politics will always swallow you. And he got swallowed by politics. And then he thought, there's no way I'm going to defeat these people. Let me open my own political party. My money is not the same. He wanted to go independent, but he thought, I can only get one seat in the National Assembly. I'm not going to be president this way.
Yeah.
So independence now, hardcore politics. And he doesn't get seats in the National Assembly. So everyone has been recruited by Herman Mashaba, and that's why I like Herman Mashaba. He uses himself as a blueprint of what South Africans want because he crosses his fingers that this person can come in. He found Polani a big catch. He found Dr. Nasipi Moya a big catch. Would you want to recruit him or you want him to recruit you? What would be there?
So firstly, I want you to know I was not on my phone for disrespect, right? I was actually trying to ask my assistant to find me something. Me and Herman are tweeting at each other right now.
Okay.
Your question is, would like to be recruited by him or recruit Herman Mashaba? Yeah. Here's something interesting. So I'll have to just track you back a little bit, right? The first people to ever come to me in terms of running for mayor was MK. But
MK party.
I have
MK party.
MK party.
I was Kuluma.
Yes, Kuluma Sidu. I just decided not to, right?
Yes.
I told you I'm well trained, so I actually know much more than people. I just decided my whole life not to speak. I could speak any language, any given time.
Yeah.
So all the people that thought all these years I couldn't speak, I could actually speak.
Yeah.
So yeah, the eggs in your face. Anyway, so MK.
No, before you go away, I don't want to let this one go. Between you and Duduzile Zuma, who speaks better Zulu?
Well, I'll have to meet Duduzile.
to find out.
find
You missed a chance.
So in terms, okay, so let me just put it this today. Was she there?
Yeah, she was there.
I missed her. Yeah, I missed her. So I don't even know if I know her face, right? Yeah, and she's Mozambican. Goddamn, she's the one that's Mozambican. Okay, but you're not going to speak more better Zulu. Okay, so let me try and put nuance to that.
Yes.
I didn't practice these languages.
Yes.
So probably if I'd have to speak, you'd hear it being very broken, but it's kind of like a non-oil. So eventually if I have to speak it, it will get there. Number one. Number two, there's the Johannesburg Zulu and there's the Durban Zulu. Sometimes it throws me off because they're a lot different. I don't know what Johannesburg Zulu is. I don't even know if it's even Zulu.
Yeah.
But Zulu, KZN, yeah, I think I pick up on that because once upon a time I had a wife that was Zulu. So yeah, I'm a maverick. I'm a maverick. I'm not ashamed of it, Yes, I'm not ashamed of it at all. Okay. So we get to the place of MK, but it was not the MK mother body that tried to get me. It was, people in the student movement and the youth league.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times I would hang out with these people, in my mansion in Sandton. I call it a mall. It's not even a mansion. And we would hang out and talk. That's like, you know what? You might be the right guy for this, right? Me, mayor of what? And they explained to me why, and I loved their story behind it. I'm like, you know what? I'll give it thought, but you're ambushing me because I didn't think I'd go into the championships with, And then after a while, they said, look, we will try to speak to the old man and, try to find our way there. We'd have to talk to Secretary General and try to, sell the idea. As they were doing that, right? And this is long before Bongani Baloyi was announced, right? And I knew Bongani Baloyi. I did an interview with him on my podcast. And by the time I met him, I didn't have that idea to run for mayor. Just so you know, Bongani. And then I said, you know what? Hold up. Don't even do it because my ideologies and MK ideologies, we don't share ideologies. It was just nice to know that y'all guys want me. Why am I chosen? I was never a first pick for anybody. So I'm like, all right, why not? I gave Herman Mashaba a call. I'm like, yo, Mr. Mashaba. I call him Mr. Mashaba. He wants to be called Herman. I'm like, yo, Mr. Mashaba, I need to see you, man. Can we have a meeting? He's like, yeah, sure. He gave me the day and time. We came, went to Sandton, Friendman Drive, his office. We sat down, we had a chat. And then I said the whole story to him. It's like, look, man, I was actually lobbied the first time with MK. And my ideologies and yours are probably the closest out of everybody, right? So how about I run for you for mayor? And he said to me, you know what? I can relate with you. Because just how you told me the story, it's like, I wasn't in politics. I was frustrated and I got in and boom, I was there, DA mayor. Here I am, right? So I can relate with you. I'm like, I'm there. He's hearing what I'm saying. I was just ending over a fool. I leave. Thank you. I leave. You could check this tweet as we go. Okay. I leave and then.
This is a screenshot.
Just a screenshot. Yes.
Okay.
I leave and then the next thing he says to me, come back in 2 weeks. You'll come back to me in 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, I speak with him. He's like, no, I couldn't convince my constituents to have you as mayor. So I'm like, all right, it is what it is, Then I decided to call Musi Maimani up, somebody else who I'm, close to. Said, when are you in town? Because he lives in Cape Town. And then I said, hey, can we meet? He said to me, he's coming to Johannesburg on such and such a day. We met, we had a chat. This is when U4C, United for Change started.
Yeah.
Right, where it's Zongezwa, Patricia DeLille, and him coming together as one political party. So I do not know the other two. I've not met them yet. And he's like, look, we would have to have a chat with them and whatnot. But I felt that, and I love Musi Maimani, but I felt like he was taking too long. Like, now, you know what? Everybody's just wasting my time. I'm going in. Guys, you with me? You with me? You with me? You with me? Well, events. People, the younger guys, they all said with me. I said, I'm starting a political party. And they said, we'll join you. So yes, I started on the basis that I wanted to run with somebody. If they can hear my side of the story, we would go. But they were playing too much games. They were too much politics. Will they accept you? They would accept you, but I want you to do what So I figured I don't want to be a puppet as an independent, because as an independent, I have 1 seat out of 270 inside council. They're going to bully me. They can choose me as mayor, but they're going to bully me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm coming for those seats. And I'll be the first political party to get in and have multiple seats, more than anybody, so to put it. I don't think I'll get a majority. I know I'll get into top 5, if not 6. But I'm going to come in there and make an impact.
Yeah.
Because what is the purpose getting into this thing and not actually having an impact? Because the political parties, we already know who's going to win.
Have you studied the previous independent candidate in the national elections, 2024?
4?
for the
Yeah, there's quite a few. I mean, they all have fractions of seats, right? They don't have actual seats. But the issue is
who did better, because it's one of those I battled with the IEC website to tell me what was the performance of the independent candidates. I know Zaki Ahmad.
Yeah.
I know Annele Mda. I'm confusing Annele and the broadcaster and the politician. I'm always confusing them ladies. And then there was this other guy that I interviewed who come from mining. He also was an independent. It is those people did not do so well that they just fizzled out of this thing.
it's disheartening.
It's too much.
Very disheartening.
The politics of Mapantiti. They took.
Okay, so you and ANC don't get along. Okay, I got that. No, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you don't get along with that, it's
No.
Yeah.
They are called Mapantiti, like we just said.
yeah.
So
Said, yeah.
the politics of the ANC made sure that they close up everything.
Yeah.
They made sure that so there's no contest without doing it the traditional way. And guess who's got the most experience? You know, the ANC has just won Umkhonto. Award in Umkhonto.
Yeah.
I just went back to check.
Right.
ANC has been winning those awards in Piet Retief. Piet Retief is called Umkhonto. It's one of the biggest. It's called Piet Retief. It's in the border of
I know where Piet Retief
KwaZulu-Natal and
Mpumalanga.
this is the MK stronghold ever anyway. ANC just won award there.
Yeah, but MK is a dying organization. Right? It's not. It's a dying organization. And look, I have so much respect for President Jacob Zuma. It's not here to take a shot at him at any form. I'm not that disrespectful kind of guy, but let's just say it as it is. It's a dying organization. But the thing is, they can be taken over by anybody. They can at this stage. The organization so depends on one man's greatness, legacy, and history. One man. It's going to die. The reason why ANC is still over time is its legacy, number one. Number two, is it still has its multiple people that can play the game. Do you understand? DA also has a little bit of that. Nobody else. All right? You have the other parties, but the other parties are much smaller, right? EFF, and you have the main guy, then the second guy there. Maybe one is a mayor, maybe the other one's the SG. That's it. You don't know anybody else in it. Unless, of course, you're deep into politics. So that's how it works. They fall apart. So I'm not coming in with that structure. I'm not coming in with the structure that I, Galston Anthony, shall be the only one that will run. Nope. I'm coming in a lot more prepared. Do I think that I will take all the seats? No. I don't think I'll come close, but I'll come in with a heavy impact. Independents don't have impact because it's literally independence. You can only limit yourself to a ward. Right? So you have to start a political party. But managing that political party is terrible because, I mean, think about it. 135 wards in Johannesburg. Hey, I need to go do this meeting. Can I have money? E-wallet them $350 so you can get this person. He said, hey, we need to have him a time. You can e-wallet them 1,000. By the time you look at it, it's hundreds of thousands of rands just on transport and food alone in a month. So it's disheartening. So these independents come in with good hearts, trying to make a change, but they find that their pockets are empty. Now, you're asking, if you're going to ask a question that I'm going to ask already, am I doing this out of my own pocket? Absolutely. I do have the muscle to do so, but it will empty me like that very quickly. So on that note, if anybody would like to sponsor this and make sure that I'm made, go ahead and do it. But the point here is that it's disheartening because if you see in comment sections, people are just nasty. Yes. You will never make it. You'll never make it to mayor. Okay. I'm going in.
So you know what an ice boy is in colloquially South African politics?
I am South African.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Just skip the accent. I am South African. Where are you from? Where you from? Tell me.
I'm from Palabora.
Palabora. So which part of Palabora? Namakhale, Lulekane, which Namakhale. So I know Namakhale. I've done a lot of conventions at Namakhale Hall. I know it very, very well. That place and its red soil. No, Lulekane is the red soil area.
Yeah.
I know that area very well.
Linyanya is more red soil than
Alanya is terribly. Why you look at me and say Linyanya?
Were you wearing the same color with the soil of?
Okay, Linyanya and Zunin.
Yes, yeah. So, ice boy, in this context, is you're a politician, right? Yeah, but you are being sent around, and this is the reason you don't want to be an independent candidate because that's going to render you an ice boy because you're just going to have that one seat, and they're going to make you a Gwamanda kind of candidate. Everyone say, okay, let's buy the compromise. They make me mayor, and there's like, when they don't want you, then they propaganda you.
Yeah.
In case, then they.
Beautiful. Actually, while you have this,
So wait, look out for propagandas.
Yes. Some things will come up.
Yes, something will come up about you. So I just want to ask you, you speak about seeds. In South Africa, we say,
Do you not know what South Africans say?
no.
Are you sure he's South African?
Yeah.
Operations Dinula. Please. We need to find this guy's passport, eh?
In South Africa, we say you are as good as the number that you bring. In politics of South Africa. So you cannot command any conference if you don't have numbers. Have you compared the numbers that would need you to be what they call in political speak a kingmaker?
Yes.
You see, Julius Malema is very influential and he doesn't have a lot of seats, but he's very influential in any municipality and even in provinces. I mean, what numbers do you think you're going to get in the city of Johannesburg and which wards, whether it's PR seats or actual wards, that will give you those numbers?
So here's the thing why I can't tell you certain wards, because I do know which wards I would get those numbers in certain areas, because, you know, there are some political parties, namely the ANC and a few others, that actually start threatening people. It's like, you dare vote for that person, we'll make sure that we gonna hurt you.
Are you saying your voters have been threatened?
No, even my voters, I don't have voters yet. Yes, I don't have voters yet. I'm just saying that. Am I accusing ANC for threatening people? No, I said amongst a few other political parties. So, you know, it's this is things that we heard. I've never seen it, blah, blah, blah. This is things that we heard. Now, I'm not trying to start issues with Fikile, Malula, and the rest of it. I'm not trying to start none of that. But I don't want to find myself in those positions because I can't keep them safe. But my wards in the suburb, man, those people are voting for me. Herman Mashaba's ward is going to vote for me over him. And that's Ward 91.
Where is Ward 91?
It's in Sandton.
Yeah.
So I actually put him to a challenge. Your ward will have less votes than me. Wait, did I say that right?
No. Action SA will have less votes
than me in his ward. They just did a by-election recently, like in November sometime. So obviously we sat, we tested, we understood, I'm in Ward 90, so we wards next to each other.
You don't want to disclose the kind of areas there where we...
No. So you want me to send me a letter, hey, you telling me where people stay and whatnot. I don't need none of that smoke. I like, as much as that we have a little bit issues, me and him right now, especially online, I still love the man. I've got no issues with the man.
Okay.
Like, there's nobody that's my enemy at this point.
Okay.
So I don't want to create one.
What are you projecting? How many seats? 5?
Look, 5. 5 would be quite an achievement, but we intend to look for 12. Now, I just gave you that number 12, and everyone's going to make sure that it's smaller than me and bigger than me, that I don't get that goddamn 12. And they'll be like, come back to this, but so you said you got 12. You have 3. 3 is still a good number for a guy that just got in because, I mean, EFF barely got seats there, right? I mean, MK don't even have seats there. They don't even represent. So, yeah, even 3 is a very good number. But to be a real kingmaker, you're looking at 12 upwards.
All right. Now, let's talk politics.
Yeah.
Let's talk politics of Mabahambe.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk politics of should the youth employment adverts say for 35 and below, like such politics, bread butter politics, the SASSA grant politics. Do you think the 350 must be discontinued? It was called COVID relief.
It's a very, very hard one. People are poor, man.
Indeed.
People are poor. So should it be gone? I will tilt more no than yes.
Okay.
But should they socially change the people's minds? Absolutely. South Africans are trained to be dependent. That's what they train to be. Have the 350. Oh, no. Actually, some of the government is the reason why that's why you deserve this. So we're trained to just receive the little bit and survive on it. And then we complain about so many other things. The issue is that 350 might be needed. All right. I'm not in their positions. I don't understand it to that degree. I'm not going to sit here and sell a politics that I understand it. But I could imagine without a 350 and that's your only income and you have to discontinue it, you're going to cause a lot of pain. You're going to cause a lot of anger. Should it be continued? No, but I think the culture, there's a lot of culture that needs to do a lot of work to change it. So that's what I think we should do.
You're still on the fence.
I'm not on the fence. I think I tilt more no than yes. So let's say 80% no.
Keep it.
Yeah, keep it there, but change the culture of the people taking the money. So because now people are making babies because they can get more. I mean, 700 for 2. I mean, let me just see. If I get 5 babies, how much is that? That's the kind of calculations people are trying to make.
Okay.
And now these kids don't go to school. They didn't do that math because they don't have the education to know how this math works. They're just looking at the actual physical number. So that's why I'm like, you know what? Yes, but let's change the culture.
So would you want it to be reduced in stages, or because at the end you
I gave you
eventually
the answer. Yes, you need to change the culture.
the culture as you change it, and if you're gonna change it, is it going to be a change, or you're gonna reduce the number of recipients, or you're gonna reduce the 350 to 300, 150, 200?
Okay, so to be clear, I'm not a national government, and I wish I had that power. So I said I can run for presidency right after being mayor.
We just want people to understand you.
To understand my standpoint. Okay, so I wouldn't even make that decision.
Yeah.
At this point, what I would do is try to focus on the culture.
Okay.
I try to focus on the culture. It's like, okay, how many 350s can we put together over a period of time and say, okay, there's some sucking numbers. There's 100 people. How about we stop your 350 and then we create a business that you guys can earn so much more by using this 350 times X amount as your starting capital. Everybody will be employed. Maybe not everyone getting paid the first month, second month, but we will grow this business and make sure that everybody gets an actual salary. I would use that money like that.
Okay. No, makes
you understand? And then I would figure out after a period of time, did it work? And then boom. So I didn't do that math yet. I can get my actuary people to figure that out and take it from there.
Thank you very much. Mabahambe means, and I'm not telling you, I'm telling the audience. Mabahambe means foreigners, documented and otherwise, must leave South Africa and let the resources of South Africa and the services be beneficial to South Africa directly. This is what Mabahambe phrase means. Just coined by, it's not really coined, but it was used by the Patriotic Alliance people. You see, patriotic in the sense that says, if those who are proponent of this thing are seen to be patriotic, people coming to South Africa illegally, we understand why. But they are in South Africa illegally. Illegally means it's a wrong thing. When they're in the country illegally, must they benefit from services? We're not talking about arresting them. We're just talking about services. Should they be stopped from receiving free services that were earmarked for South Africans? This is premised on the fact that we don't want to hit them, but we must have things that discourages foreigners coming to South Africa. What is your take around the whole thing?
The Constitution of South Africa has a lot of Ubuntu in it, right? A lot of humanity. Well, there's the flip side where it works against you. There's a lot of Ubuntu in it. So if somebody comes into the country, they may not be refused healthcare, for example, right? So that's the one benefit I'm specifying. So if an illegal immigrant is being caught and found, right? Put a budget to deport that motherfucker, all right? Put that thing let him come back the right way, and if he's allowed in, let him in. But until that, deport them. Make a budget for that. But if he happens to be sick, get him well, then get him out. So instead of saying Abahambe, how about let's take him home?
They tried that with Lindela Deportation Center. They just spent millions, and you know, if there's a value chain, you see comrades are there.
Right. I see. Yeah. So that's then there's other benefited people. Yes, then there seems to be the other side, right? But we need to find a system that this is tricky.
Yeah.
Right. Comment section people trying to find a way to try and hit at me. We still need to figure out a system because I'm not a national government. I'm going for mayor.
Yeah.
Not president yet. Is that to say, how do we get these people documented quickly and correctly and have them background checked? This is why we need bilateral relationships with some of these countries. Without these bilateral relationships, we can't know who we bring in it and why are they here. Making sure that they come in, they're documented. If anything happens, we know who they are. We know where to find them. There's this FICA, is it FICA, whatever. You know how to find these people. So we need to find that process as well. Now, the deporting part is money making to people's pockets. I understand that as well, but it still needs to be done. And they need to be watchdogs over that kind of thing. But we need to find a system that works. I don't have the answers off the bat to those type of stuff. But eventually will have. But for now, let's talk about the mayor of Johannesburg duties. Because that's what I'm running for.
The mayor of Johannesburg would be expected to be, one of the things that Kenyans brag about is...
I go to Kenya a lot.
Yeah, one of the things they brag about is how the economy seems to be responsive to the modern, telephone and gadgets. Yes. So you and I were at the memorial, and we're not bragging. You and I are podcasters. The memorial service, and we're not blaming, we're not casting aspersions on the family and the people who organized it. If it was a music man, Trumpist kind of vibes, you would have felt it that it was that. If it was a politician, you would have felt it was a politician. It didn't feel like it's and I'm not putting pressure on the family, it didn't feel like it was a podcaster who was doing that. And I'm not saying maybe there's a certain way of podcasters doing it. I'm just showing that how culture is sometimes slow to pick up with what the person represents. In the city, would you have places to, free Wi-Fi? There was free Wi-Fi in the city of Tswana. It was removed. It has killed a lot of content creators. Kids who are not good at school, but they're good at maybe riding bikes. They could have been big content creators. You remember the Hautas who went to Cape Town from Limpopo? Stuff like that. Would you want to have an industry like that for just the typical, kids from the township? Would you? So what is it that you would have for young kids? I just gave examples of how some visionary, something new out of the box that you would want to come up with.
Sure. Thank you for that question. You're giving me an opportunity to answer something really cool. You mentioned a lot of things, Kenya.
Yes.
And then you mentioned DJ Waris, and then you asked, what would I do for the young people? Let me try and spread those answers as best as I can. Let's start with DJ Waris. I think it was a beautiful, classy, well-themed memorial service. I found zero wrong with it. If should I die, please. That poor everybody. I'm dying at 90-something. Poor everybody.
Yes.
All right. Everybody's going to be dead long before I am.
Yeah.
Please, can I have something that simple, that dignified? Do not spend your money on me.
Yeah.
Do not do that. The state can do it, sure, or my family can do it, whatever. But please let it be good and dignified, just like that. I understand. I went to Jabba. Jabba was a friend of mine. It was very big. It was done at Civic Center and Mafeking and all. It was very big and all. Boom. I'd like mine young, intimate, maybe a list, and then other people can watch. So I don't agree with what you think, but however, I acknowledge what you say. And then the second part of the Kenyans, yes, somebody goes to Kenya a lot. Shout out to the Kenyans out there. I go to Kenya a lot. Nairobi City, I go there, I fly there. Sometimes I stay there for like a week or two just to learn people's culture. I go to East Africa a lot, and it is true. Stuff like the fintech world is amazing. And M-Pesa, South Africa used to be ahead of the game, then it fell apart. Kenya took over. They're making sure that things, work, and their celebrities are growing because of social media and whatnot. What is it I would do for the young people? Because there's no longer free Wi-Fi that had killed a lot of businesses. This is what I would do. This is more presidential, but I think I could use a bylaw to get this right. Firstly, I'll get maybe 20 to 40 of the most brilliant minds to collab with the city of Johannesburg, and we get a budget on budget to start an app that works for Africans, starting in South Africa. So, however, whatever the concept is, China gets our money from TikTok. America gets it from Instagram, Facebook, and all the other forms. It's good and well. Keep giving them their money, right? But Africa needs to take money home. So get these people to develop it. We're talking about engineers. We're talking about the website developers, the coders, everyone. And they have stake in that as well. So having the states partner with individuals so they can have co-ownerships, right? There will be thousands of jobs almost instantly. When it rolls out, algorithms need to stop this nonsense where it rewards bad stuff. For example, we said some bad stuff in the beginning, so to put about Operations Dudula. Guess what's going to happen? Comment section's gonna go bad and everybody's gonna say some nasty stuff. This one has to reward good things. good conversations, engineers, actuary scientists, you name them, all these good things that is being needed to promote them. Because how many engineers you know? I bet you could stop at 3 if you even know 3. You don't know them, right? Doctors, we barely know doctors. This algorithm will reward and pay them more than entertainers. I'm not trying to put entertainers aside. I've made most of my money in the entertainment and the media industry. But the thing is that these other places, TikTok in China, reward, bad behavior here, like people selling bums or whatever the case may be. And then they don't reward the engineer. They don't reward. So how about a black Africa rewards a black African? Then we take this thing, we go to the next country. Kenya would probably be my first stop, but it's still owned by South Africa. It's still owned by Johannesburg. Take it to Nigeria. They're very big. And then boom, we have our own money circulating in South Africa. That's what I would do for young people, because you're looking at tens of thousands of jobs that is inside that app, so to put it. And then there's people that's partaking will be millions.
You're thinking more like Meta or Google?
It's not what I think. It's more of an app that will work for the people.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm telling you, here's my concept. I'm not saying it should be like Google. It's something that should work for the people. These 20 to 40 brilliant minds need to sit me down, because I already got my own one that I'm developing and whatnot. But this is Galston's business deal. I'm talking about for the city. They need to decide. The Gen Zs need to say, hey, we see the future looking like this. It's them. That's what I need from them.
Roads.
Oh, damn it.
People say, pothole is something so easy to do. People could do it in 15 to 20 minutes. They could just wash it, do quickly, stamp on it, and it stays. And they think it's not, minor interruption on the road traffic, but they seem to have got a good plan and a consistent plan that get unemployed people to fix roads, because roads are very big talking points in a metropolis like between Johannesburg and Pretoria. You've got a quick plan to do that?
No quick plan.
No quick plan.
No quick plan. So I live in the richest square mile in the whole of Africa. God damn it, potholes. They're really bad, so I'm affected by it. I got to keep fixing my car for whatever goddamn reason. And I can't afford that anymore. I really can't afford to keep fixing my car. Because new pothole. I can't. But it's something that we definitely need to look very, very deeply in, right? These quotations that are coming out that are inflated need to be looked at again, because the budget is there to fix the roads. But if fixing a kilometer costs 100,000 rand, why are we charging R1 million for it? Right? Why are we charging R1 million? I understand how the system works. I understand 15 people got to eat and blah, blah, blah. Could we stop that? Because we are purporting the failure of South Africa and then complain about it. So what I would do is that before checking on the roads, I'd spend probably my first 100 days cleaning up my place and be like, yo, wherever is stealing from here and inside as part of the supply chain is making money, please stop, because I'm going to find you and I'm going to catch you.
You're going to die.
Yeah, I'm probably going to die, but people are going to die long before me.
When was the last time you went to a traditional library?
If I don't.
Do you think libraries are obsolete?
I don't know.
What would you want to repurpose city libraries? They are all over, and people only go there to study, academic things, not to read books, because everything you can find on your app. Is there something that you would want to venture into, and what can you do to repurpose them?
Off the top, it comes down to culture.
Okay.
Culture and need. Yes, there are students that really need to study. They need to find places. Their home's a little too small. There's maybe younger kids that is making noise and they find out themselves failing at school because they can't do simple as study or afford electricity to be there. So to get libraries will be a really good start. But the thing is, building the library is one thing. But the culture of South Africans, even within the students, those are the things that we need to work on and changing. Just building and building and building and not fixing the culture means that I'm building the thing and then boom, there's the library stands in and be like, see, you failed. You failed. Oh, you thought you were going to be a good mayor. I'd focus on the culture of the South Africans, right? Or the Johannesburgers. Hey, study. Here's why. Here's why it's cool. This is what you should do. Should I build a library? How big the library should go? Get some understanding. Get some research. Build the library there after where it's needed. That's what I would do. I wouldn't get into just spending as much money possible.
A political party.
Yep.
Running in Gauteng only?
Hmm.
For now?
No.
National? Yeah. Next year.
Let's focus.
Talking about 12 months.
Yeah.
So, because already people want jobs, or what council, they're expecting from you.
Thank you. So let's put it like this, all right? It sounds like who you're asking questions, or you're just a smart guy. Because you're doing good. All right, so on that note, I'm going to say this. Now, anybody who would like to be a ward counselor under me, right, please, I'll give you a number. I don't know, reach me out on Instagram or whatever, Facebook, and then I'll forward you a number of which you could talk to people to say, hey, I'd like to run for ward counselor in my area, right? If you've never been a ward counselor before, that's okay. You're 19 years old, that's okay. Just at least be responsible, make sure that you are eligible to vote yourself, and God damn it, have a citizenship, right? Because only citizens can run for it. So does it mean that I'm calling foreigners to be here? I'm calling anybody that is capable and responsible and want to take care of the neighborhoods. You must be able to make sure you take calls at night if there's water issues. If you must be responsible. You're a civil servant, not a guy that's getting money to just chill and do nothing. So yes, an invitation. Yes, I do know of him. I've not met him.
Yeah, your politics seem to sound and look like him. So that's your brand of politics that you guys are going to be pursuing, even if you don't want. But this is what people might be looking you.
So it doesn't, by the way. So it doesn't. It just has similarities because we're both entrepreneurs, but it doesn't sound like his. I mean, it's not like I'm having any beef with him. He's a brilliant man.
Yes. The brilliance. I can tell you, and I can show you clips on my podcast where South Africans actually tell you that they don't like educated people.
Mm-hmm.
Like people who went to school, they don't like them. I can show you if so.
Yeah,
you come across as intelligent, smarty.
Yes, I am.
And nauseating.
Nauseating. What does that mean?
They I don't know the word of saying it, but South Africans, what they do is they seem to be repulsive to someone who
knows something about it.
That's Tsibinki, ne?
I'm Tswana.
Yes. Tsibinki. So Tsibinki is how would know it all and know it all. Yeah, so they seem to have these different energies with someone like that because you are intelligent.
That's not South African, and that's a worldwide problem.
Yeah, so they seem like I say, I can show you clips in the podcast where people actually say they don't like someone because it's this way. How are you going to shake off this thing? Because I saw you in Soweto, and you were conversing with people in your Tivo Touch accent. How are they?
It's your point, Tivo Touch. It's your point, Tivo Touch.
In the real, because we call it door to door in South Africa, the project that we're doing on the ground. How are they receiving you?
They love me. Again, people love me, and they've always loved me. This is how it is, but there's a difference, right? They love me in the moment. Yeah. Then behind is like, you think Caesars? I'm used to that. So I've already done a lifetime study of how people are going to respond to it. You're asking me, how would I get past that? It's going to not necessarily going to be an easy one, but there's a tact. So firstly, I will accept I am an intelligent person. I am smart. I am educated and so many beautiful things. I'm a good example of what a good child was being raised, and boom. So if you're mad at me, then you're probably what you want to be. All right. So how about you just join me and I'll show you how to be something like me, because there needs to be more me than not. The reason being is because I will get old and die and move on with my life. We need to raise kids in South Africa to be brilliant kids to take over this country. And at the rate we're going, we're looking at a dying South Africa, right? That's what's going to happen. How am I going to get past that as a people? Either way, I'm going to be on your face. I'll make sure you understand that I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. And this is what I'm going to do. You don't join me? What do you? Move on. Eventually you'll join me. But there are people within those communities that've got an eye. There's actually a lot of people got that eye. It's like, that boy's onto something. That boy's onto something. I'm not saying do what I do. I just say, hey, if it's something that I kind of do that you kind of like, join forces with me. Because eventually I'm going to let it go. I'm not a politician at heart, right? I'm a business person. I start businesses, make sure it functions, give it to those that have got the heart for it, go. So let me say this. I'm going to start a political party. Make sure it functions. Give it to those that have that passion for it and let it go. And they will multiply.
as we pursue this this parallel path between you and Zohran Mamdani, do you think are you now convinced that you look like him? Not physically.
I'm better looking.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
No, not physically.
You better ask somebody.
Your story looks like him.
There are similarities. Look, you would find a lot of similarities with me through and through. I'll answer the Zohran Mamdani from somebody who's in a village right until a person that's like the richest guy in the world. You would have similarities because a lot of that life of my range is very, very big.
Yeah.
Whereas people, theirs are more down to this. So you from Namahale.
Yes.
I know Namahale, right? I've been there. I've owned property there. I've built some stuff. I know Namahale. I'm not making this thing up. I know. You could tell. You could test it and I could tell you.
Yeah.
So the difference with me is that I've been well trained.
Yes.
Well trained. There was a purpose behind training me and a few other people. By the way, I got multiple siblings and sub-siblings that were as well trained as me. So we understand what we're here to do. It is my time now. And if my time is shortened, somebody will take over. And if his time is shortened, somebody will take over. This is a pre-prepared years and years and years ago. My story is not like that. I'm assuming that Zohran, probably well trained because he's born Ugandan. He's an Indian man who grew up in Cape Town, now running for the city of New York, right? I am South African, born in South Africa, from different types of backgrounds, spent a little time here and there in different parts of the world, running for South Africa. So there's not quite a parallel there. The man is great in his own right, love him, and he's a great inspiration. Shout out to him. But this is Galston Anthony's walk.
Business support, you said you are low so far. So you look like him because he did not have the billionaires and the millionaires backing him. You gonna run out, we're gonna run this campaign from your pocket, of which I flatly deny that it's going.
Sure, damn well, I'm not going to do this forever. I'm pretty sure a few billionaires, because I do know billionaires on an individual level.
Yes. But at what point would you say, stuff, this is not sustainable, I'm calling it quits?
Kill me.
So you want to stop until you die, is what you say?
So I'm saying I like that better. No, until I decide I'm finished.
Okay. No, I'm talking about this mayoral campaign. So
gotcha.
If the business people don't chip in, because it's going to be very expensive to run out of your pocket.
I'm well resourced. When I say Mashaba, by the way, for doing it, yeah. So Mashaba is substantially richer than I am. Okay, right? Substantially richer than I am, even though we live in the same neighborhood. And this is my good assumption. But the difference between me and him is that I'm multi-resourced.
Okay.
So I have now I can say, hey man, you've got cameras. Can I use your cameras to do such and such a thing? Guess what? I've got your resources to do what I need to do. I have that worldwide. I've got bilateral relationships Africa-wide. Many people are heads of states in other countries are miles away. Billionaires are called.
Are you hinting at him?
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Or it's just okay.
It's hot out here.
Yeah.
So I'm well resourced and I will use those resources, right? If, which is unlikely, I get there and this is going to age me real quick, running for this mayor thing will age me very, very quickly. When I get to that place and I get to the end, would I say stuff it? I'll be like, look, I didn't get enough seats. May the people who have to sit in those seats sit them. I'm planning my way to presidency. If I don't make it to presidency by some sort of miracle, well, that's okay. I've taught people that they can come out of nowhere and do their thing. Please, may he or she that is capable to run for these seats stand up, and I, Galston Anthony, will support you.
Mr. Anthony, is there anything you wanted to say that you think I haven't asked you?
Yeah, I don't know. This was a conversation. I'm not quite sure, but hey, if there's another invitation to come on this podcast, I'd be willing to take it. I will also say these parts that, yes, please look out for people that will be running under my political party as mayor for different cities. Not only mayors, but also ward councilors. If they'd like to run, please let me know. Personal assistant, is there things that I need to know that I need to let them know?
Yes, I think you also need to put out the point about the hospitals.
The hospitals, building the hospitals of economic, that will help foreigners in that way, right? Okay. Would you like to see that part?
Please, sure.
Okay, so there is a video I put out that, look, healthcare is knocking South Africans. Now, I'm a very smart man, but surely I don't know how I'm the only person who can figure out such a basic idea. We build a hospital, 200 million. The money's there. And then we take that 200 million, build a hospital, and make sure that other people chip in. So say it's 200 million, some suck. How about we say 100 million comes from the government, 33%, private ownership, 100 million, and also international countries or individuals can put in that 33%, right? It will be 34%, so making sure that South Africans have the majority. What happens is we use laws to make sure that when that hospital is built, that foreigners start making a, what do they call this part? A funeral plan or medical aid type thing to be in those hospitals. So they'll pay 300, 400, 500, whatever the case may be, so they can, stay on that plan. So anytime they get sick, they go to that hospital. This is hundreds of millions a month paid to the hospitals to run nurses, doctors, everything, medication and all. They can be paid there and run there. Now, all that money comes to Johannesburg. Now, obviously, individuals can get their dividends out of the way because, they put money in. That money stays within Johannesburg. That money comes from outside the country, stays within Johannesburg, taxed in Johannesburg. These are things that we can have, these kind of programs that make sure that the city remains rich. And we're not going to have like 1, 2 massive construction companies and then they built that hospital. No. We have multiple SMMEs be a part of it, right? Well, obviously it needs like a certain CE. I don't know if they still call it CE in constructions to be able to build it. But then we mandate them that they're going to have multiple smaller construction companies and they're going to do portions of the hospital. Years later, they can expand that into a school. Now we have Medusa. We've got nothing in the south, do we? We don't have anything in Johannesburg that is that substantial outside bits. Now, the medical side of school, I don't know the medical school. Joburg Gen? Is it not Joburg Gen? Not sure. But we need multiple places where we can have, doctors being trained, medical students. Boom, make sure that years later that's that. Develop it more and more and more. There's so much portions of lands that we can't use that is owned by the state. If not owned by the state, we make sure that we get it so that it can be done. There's multiple ways to make revenues in the city. How about we just stop stealing the money?
Thank you very much. Mashiane Politicallyincorrect. You saw the man, you had the man. Do you think he'll cut it for mainstream politics? No, because he's not a mainstream politician. Will he succeed? I bet yes. I bet, Dr. Nasipi Moya is succeeding because she's not an out-and-out politician. Like I said, Mashaba succeeded because not an out-and-out politician. As with his beef with Operation Dudula, I don't know where it's going to end. I hope they polish themselves together.
He better give me a call, man. I want to end this beef.
He needs those Soweto votes. Operation Dudula is not doing well in Soweto. They were beaten in a by-election around North Khaseg in Soweto, and he was doing his campaign in Soweto. If you want to dislodge ANC, these guys that needs to start working with each other, not against each other. Operation Dudula might be scared themselves because remember they worked with Patriotic Alliance they were deceived and they were whipped by politics. Mashaba himself was hit by politics. I asked Mashaba, would he work with DA again after they dribbled him? It's very scary. People like him are not politicians. They are going to be dribbled by politicians.
Oh, yeah.
Once they get into that. Mashiane Politicallyincorrect, that it's been a long one. Mr. Anthony, thank you very much. Eita, the best to ever do with the king of club bags. Eita.
Thank you.
Thanks, my brother.